Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into There is More to Be Done. My name is Anam, and I'm a psychology enthusiast. I'm here to share some simple strategies with you from the toolkit that I have created through my experiences and learnings in life for the everything is out of control, I don't know what to do moments. In this podcast, once in 2 weeks, I talk about different topics that will help you develop confidence and a I got this attitude. So let's get started. Let's talk about perfection. Growing up, we're taught different benchmarks for different things. Some are universally defined, some are defined by ideologies of our teachers and mentors. I was a big believer of perfectionism until very recently. Reading a book by my favorite author, Adam Grant, Think Again, I literally did that. I thought again about all the things that I was very rigid about. Things that when I heard people share their opinion about, I would sometimes even shut down, saying, that's great, that's your opinion, and this is mine. Our opinions, they come from our respective experiences. But I would never consider a different perspective or a need for revision in my opinions until it stopped serving me the purpose. One of these concepts about perfection was that I realized that perfection is different for everybody. It actually cannot be a universal benchmark. It is whatever you decide you want it to be. However, you decide to define something is perfect, will decide that this is what perfect looks for you. So then, why is that we keep holding that fear of not being perfect? But no matter what we go out to do, we're always scared that we're not going to do good enough. It's not going to be perfect. Whether it's a painting, a project submission, an idea, we always fear from putting it forward because we think that it's not good enough. It needs more work or more polishing or more something to sound perfect. When we're young, we're constantly encouraged to learn. And when we make mistakes, we're told that it's okay to make them. We're encouraged to make mistakes so that we learn more. We're encouraged for at least trying and putting things out there. I have a 1 year old niece right now who is learning to talk. And when she calls an apple, so we're in the phase where we show her things and we tell her what it is and we ask her to repeat that. And sometimes she is close, where if we ask her, how do you say nose? She'll say nose. And then if we show her, oh, look, this is called a pencil, after we've shown her an apple, she'll still call the pencil an apple. But because she's young, we laugh and we clap that she still said apple correctly. We focus on the fact that she's trying to talk and she said something right instead of not saying anything at all. We don't sit and try to explain her that no, this is a pencil and keep repeating until she gets it right. We clap and we call it a day, thinking that at least she learns how to say apple. We clap and we call it a day, thinking that at least she learned to say apple today. That's great. As kids, every effort we make is appreciated, it's applauded. But as we grow, The focus goes from being able to not just trying, but doing it as per certain standards. We start to focus on how it's not just important to complete things, but complete things in the right way which is defined by someone. We start focusing on how things are good, but they're still missing something. They're missing the perfect ingredient. And once something is added to make it perfect, I remember when I moved here and I was looking for a job, every single person I spoke to had a different suggestion. Some said I need to dumb down my resume. Others told me I need to practice an accent. Some people told me to go to networking events where they were more casual. Some told me to attend more casual networking events. Some told me to stick to stats, do my research, do two events every single week. And a lot of people told me the 15 different type of ways that my resume could be improved, and for the longest time I wasn't able to apply anywhere for weeks because I was paralyzed by the thought that my resume is not good enough, and I kept changing things and kept getting it reviewed instead of actually applying for jobs. Until one day I got really fed up, and I just decided that I'm going to be me. I'm going to put the experience that I think matters. I'm going to put the things that I feel shows my strengths. And if a company accepts that, great. And if a company accepts that, great. And if not, that's okay too. I am not going to delete 8 years of my hard work and perseverance, not for any reason that I don't find logical, at least. I decided that I didn't want to be perfect. I'll just put consistent and my best effort, show up, and just have blind faith that it'll work out. And the result was that I was able to find the right people who coached me how to better present my story. And as a result of that, I was able to find the right people who coached me how to better present my story, how to change the way I narrate about my experiences and my strengths and my weaknesses. What do I bring focus to more? I focused on the smaller goals instead of the bigger ones and kept putting just one foot in front of the other. And I got the job that I wanted. Perfection is a perception, and everybody's perfect is going to be different. So instead of striving for the perfection you're seeking, isn't it just better to just do things and go for it? If it's unfinished, so be it. People will read your unfinished piece, see your unfinished presentation, and give you feedback and suggestions on how you can finish it well. And isn't that better than not having any feedback? Think about this sentence on a piece of paper. It's dash beautiful day. I'm sure if you have imagined it on a piece of paper, reading it, your mind has automatically filled in the blank, and you read it as, it is a beautiful day. Why did that happen? Because as human beings, our brains are constantly trying to make sense of the world. And that's why people loved Inception, because now everybody could come up with what it meant. There were debates, comparisons, and people simply loved engagement in what it created, a space for more conversation and ideas. Jenna Kutcher, our podcast host and author, always says, done is better than perfect. And I truly believe that. Our suffering is really in our perception. If you perceive perfection as a requirement, it will paralyze your productivity. Because perfectionism is a state of mind. Because perfectionism is a state of mind. With all the experience that I have now, if I read my old articles, sometimes I feel like, gosh, that was so fresh and green. It needs so much work. But that is my experience. And that's hindsight. That's how you will always look at your past and think that you could have done better. Because what you need to know is that you made the best decision you could with the information you had at the time that you did that particular project. We really need to give ourselves a break and be kind to ourselves. We're all work in progress after all. Life is short, but it's also long. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, but it's still there. That's why we plan. So, yeah, maybe things are not perfect, and everything you do seems like it's not ready yet. But the fact is that it's not that it's not actually ready, but that it's not ready enough for you. For somebody else, this might be a beyond perfect piece, but you will never know unless you put it out there. The fact is that it's not actually ready, but it's not ready enough for you. For somebody else, this might be a piece which is beyond perfect. And unless you put it out there, you'll never know. Because when you put it out there with the intention of learning, things will become so much easier. And because life is long and you have tomorrow, you can always make it better. You can always do better. It'll be so much easy to receive feedback and see it as an opportunity to improve if you just put it out there. Because no matter how perfect it is according to you and how much time and effort you've put into it, everyone is going to have an opinion. But you should know what your intention of putting this work out there is for. What is it that you're aiming to accomplish? Why is it that you are doing the work that you're doing? Because when you're sure about that and you get opinions and feedback, you will know which ones are applicable and which ones are not. Because the thing about perception in this world is that there are 8 billion people walking and talking on this planet, and everyone is going to have a different perception about things. Everyone is going to have a different opinion about things. And you, your work, your opinion, your idea, it has a tribe out there somewhere, whether you found it or not. There is someone who's going to resonate with what you have to offer. The fear of rejection, not fitting in, imposter syndrome is something we all struggle with. Every single person who's famous, who's successful, who's gone on stage and spoken a million times is still going through it. There is an exercise that I share in episode 4 that you can practice to help with the fear of rejection. But no matter how many times you feel it, you just have to take the leap and lean into it. Because no matter what happens after that, even if you fall, you will recover and you will live. Because even if you fall, you will recover and you will live. It's going to be fine because there is always another day to fix it, to redo it, to show up stronger. Perfection is a great standard to strive for, but it should not be a ceiling to hold you back. There is a difference in that. Understand that and accept that. A lot of these episodes are not perfect. And this is me learning and evolving with all the feedback that I get. Me showing up vulnerably, it's me sharing my fears, overcoming my paralysis of it, and striving to do better one episode at a time. It might be raw, it might not be so professional, but it's me and my heart and my intention to share my experience, the learnings, and the faith that I have that there is a tribe who will share my intent, who will resonate with the struggles that I've similarly shared like them. If you do take up this challenge, I would love to hear your experience. You can reach out to me through any of the various channels through my website or my social media handles. Until next time, this is me signing off. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode and found this topic helpful. If you did find it helpful or you know somebody who might like this topic, please like and share the episode. And please follow the show on the app that you're listening to this podcast on. Please do let me know in the comment section of how you like this episode and if you have any questions regarding this topic or any other topics that I have shared in my podcasts. I'll be more than happy to answer them.